Hi everyone, I am Alejandro Garcia Fernandez, and in this demo I'll show how space enhances the operation of TomatoMeter, a lightweight productivity app we built to demonstrate the benefits of integrating our solution into a pricing lifecycle management workflow. Just to give some context, TomatoMeter helps users track their work sessions with the Pomodoro technique, evaluate their productivity, and review some basic performance stats like the ones that you can see here. In addition, like most software as a service applications, users can select a subscription from a pricing, which will provide access to a set of features and usage limits. In this case, the pricing contains three different plans: Basic, Advanced, and Premium, and also two add-ons: Extra Timers, which will allow us to extend the amount of Pomodoro timers that we can create, and Export as JSON, which is a feature that would allow us to export the weekly productivity data in JSON format. Moreover, at the top of the app, you can see two timelines. The one in purple represents user events and moves forward every time a user changes their subscription. However, the one in blue represents provider events and will show when the provider updates the pricing. Finally, the app also includes a built-in pricing editor that can be accessed from this button. It will allow us to invoke provider events from the same UI as the application for demo purposes. Of course, in a real-world system, it will not be available for users. Now, here's the interesting part. With Space integrated, we can, of course, operate with TomatoMeter's pricing. For example, right now I am subscribed to the basic plan, so I cannot access the daily summary feature. But if I move to the advanced plan, I can. Apart from that, imagine a situation where the service owner decides that basic users should also have access to the daily summary feature. Let's move back to the basic plan. Well, in this situation, we can simulate the action of the service owner in this situation from the pricing editor and change the access to the daily summary feature in the basic plan. And just by submitting this new version of the pricing, so you can see, we can now access the daily summary feature. Now, apart from this simple constraint, we can also model with the space more complex situations. For example, the maximum number of Pomodoro timers. We can also reduce this number, for example, 1 in the case of basic users again. And if we reconfirm, we can see, let's switch down the volume so that it does not affect to the demo. We can start a Pomodoro timer, just stop it, and as you can see, the limit just pop out once we have finished just a single Pomodoro timer. If we reset this limit to its original value from the pricing editor, and again we resubmit, we can reload the page, and again we can reperform the action. Well, at this point, you may be thinking that this was all planned and that the logic is implemented ad hoc, right? That's why I hope that this last example removes that idea from your mind. With Space, we can even create new plans and add-ons dynamically. For example, we can add a new plan which is called Ultra. Let's set a price of $50 to it. And this plan would have a limit of 300 Pomodoro timers and all the features allowed. And in addition, we're going to add a new add-on, which is called Dark, that will allow basic users to enable the dark mode. Okay, so if we apply the change and reload the pricing page, so you can see the new plan has already been created. We select it, we do have access to all the features, including the JSON export, which was not available in the premium plan. And in addition, if we set to the basic plan, see that we do not have the dark mode enabled, we can contract the new add-on, dark, and we would have this feature enabled. So as you can see, Space enable real-time pricing-driven self-adaptation, keeping providers and users in sync effortlessly. I would like to thank you for watching, and if you'd like to know more, you'll find our contact information in the description. Thank you very much.